Never believed you'd be a sinner. I found that out right after dinner.
Hey everyone, I'm Malcolm Owen-Flood from Stone Mastering, and today I wanted to show you how I go about getting a Black Keys-esque distorted vocal. Let's jump in. First thing I wanted to do is show you just the vocals with processing and without. So here is with.
One more time, or maybe three.
Very distorted and vibey, and then we'll take off all that processing.
One more time, or maybe three.
A little distorted and processed. So that is the first thing to mention. I did record with a tube mic and I did compress on the way in. So I got a little bit of vibe, and also Chris is just a great singer. By the way, this is Chris Erickson. His artist name is Scove. And let's now start adding in that processing bit by bit. So the first thing I did was just a little low cut. Nothing crazy there. That's not really important to the process. But this is Soothe. It's a dynamic EQ processor. And it essentially cuts certain frequencies based on the audio it is being fed. So you can see it in action here.
One more time, or maybe three.
And now let me play the delta. So this is actually what it's removing from the signal. So it's not doing a lot, but that is going to remove some harsh frequencies before it hits this Decapitator plugin. So this is SoundToys is the brand. Decapitator is the plugin, and it's one of my favorite plugins. It's just a distortion beast. So let's turn it on, and you can see what I'm talking about.
One more time, or maybe three.
Yeah, so it adds a lot of vibe. And the big things to know about this plugin is there's a drive, which is going to feed the audio into the plugin. And the more you ride that, the more distortion you're going to get. There's a punch button, which just really cranks it up. I think it like pretty much doubles what it's being fed and just pretty much gives you a lot more room to distort stuff even more. And then the mix knob is something I have to play with a lot. So right now we're at less than halfway. We're probably at like 41.5%. So I'll show you the same vocal line all the way wet.
One more time, or maybe three.
I mean, it's pretty cool, but that's obviously going to be too distorted for the song. So we're going to dial that back. And here, I'll dial it back in real time for you, actually.
All I'm thinking is I should say no. I'm all yes when you say let's go. Next thing you know, our clothes are on the floor. Because I'm feeling so cold, I'm drowning.
Right. So, super cool plugin. That is really the secret sauce for this sound. And there's a high cut, a low cut, of overall tone, and then there's like these different kind of preamp styles. So they all distort a color a different way. So it's worth shooting those out. And I mean, if you grab the plugin, you can read up on what those all do. And maybe I'll make a video on that too if people like this. After that, so we've got a very vibed out distorted vocal.
One more time, or maybe three.
The rest is kind of just making it sit in the track. I did a little bit of compression with RVox with waves.
One more time, or maybe three.
I'm limiting it. Now, this is kind of a little bit of a sin to some audio engineers, but I love doing this. Just really locks the vocal in place.
One more time, or maybe three.
Doesn't let anything go past the threshold I set. And then I broke another golden rule. I threw a reverb and a delay right on the vocal. So it's just, I believe, a short, like a small short plate. Actually, it's not that short, but it's short enough. And then for the delay, it is a very lightly mixed in, like I'm at 6.5% being blended into the vocal of a 16th note slap echo. So we'll take those off.
One more time,
Add it back in.
One more time, or maybe three.
And you could actually probably tell that I'm getting a lot more gain out of that. And I'm doing that with the saturation on the slap echo. So, and the style is set to distorted. Again, this is SoundToys plugin. Unbelievable stuff. So good. If you're watching this through the COVID thing, I think they have it all on sale, by the way. And then this is another compressor. And now I placed this here after these effects with the specific purpose of gluing that slap and reverb kind of more into the vocal performance, which is again an advantage to throwing these right on the vocal rather than on their own separate buses.
One more time, maybe three.
So everything that happens after that is going to also affect those two effects plugins. And then I've got Slate Virtual Mix Rack up here, and I'm adding some air and presence pretty much. So it's just like a top end boost.
One more time, maybe three.
And I think I just did that because hearing it in the track, I wanted a little more presence. So here's without it. And I'll jump somewhere where there's some more stuff going on.
I never believed you'd be a sinner.
Okay, I'm going to throw it back in for the next line.
I found that out right after dinner.
Yeah, just like how that sounded. So more limiting. So now I'm again controlling the dynamics in a big way, but probably also slamming this echo and reverb kind of back into it as well.
I never believed you'd be a sinner.
And the cool thing about limiting with distortion is that it kind of brings the distortion forward. It kind of forces some of the quiet distortion to come up and appear louder. Well, it is louder. Now, refinement is another kind of intelligent EQ, and that, here I'll solo what that's doing. It's pretty much going to take out some of the harshness that came up when I limited the vocal on the last step.
I never believed you'd be a sinner.
I've got soothe again. So with heavily compressed, limited, and distorted vocals, you're really going to have to work to soothe stuff out, and no pun intended. And this is just a good way of doing that. Soothe is such a good plugin.
I found that out right after dinner.
Softer. Then Virtual Tape Machine.
I found that out right after dinner.
Is adding some dirt, but it's also smoothing things out. It's kind of like softening the transients a little bit, which I like. Another limiter.
I found that out right after dinner.
But to be honest, that limiter is like making all of the difference.
I found that out right after dinner.
It's locking everything right into place for me. So good. And then last step, which is not where I'd normally put this, almost last step, is a de-esser.
I found that out right after dinner.
See if I can find a place with an S for you.
I never believed you'd be a sinner.
So Sinner got hugely improved there. Again, this is really just about making some of the harsher stuff in the vocal soft. And then I've got this tape plugin here, which is I'm hitting super hard.
I never believed you'd be a sinner.
And that's just adding distortion as well. And then I've got some, other delays and reverb effects and stuff like that. But the majority of the vocal is this Decapitator plugin, and then just tailoring all my other plugins to reinforce that idea, the initial idea I went for with that. And in the end, it turns out pretty darn cool, I think.
I'm thinking out